Have you ever walked through a forest or looked into a pond? If you have, you've seen an ecosystem. An ecosystem is like a big busy neighborhood where plants, animals, and even tiny germs live together. But it's not just the living things. An ecosystem also includes all the non-living things they need to survive, like water, air, and sunlight. Think of a desert, an ocean, or even a small puddle after it rains. Each one is a special kind of home, a unique ecosystem where everything works together in a delicate balance to support life. To understand an ecosystem, we can start small. Imagine all the squirrels living in a single park. All those squirrels together are called a population. A population is just one type of animal, or one species, living in the same place. Now let's add more to our park. We have the squirrels, but there are also pigeons, oak trees, busy ants, and green grass. All of these different living things together form a community. It's like all the different families living on the same street, interacting with each other every day. So, what makes a community become a full ecosystem? It happens when we add the non-living things. In our park example, the community of squirrels, pigeons, and trees needs more than just each other. They need sunlight to help the trees grow. They need the soil to put down roots and for ants to build their tunnels. They need the air to breathe and the rain to drink. When you put the living community together with all these non-living parts, the sun, soil, air, and water, you get a complete ecosystem. It's the whole picture of life in one area. From a tiny drop of water teeming with microscopic life, to the vast Amazon rainforest, ecosystems come in all sizes. The key idea is that everything within that system interacts. The big fish in a pond might eat the smaller fish, which eat tiny water plants. Those plants need sunlight and clean water to grow. Even the rocks at the bottom of the pond are important, providing shelter for small creatures. Every single part has a job to do, and they all rely on each other to keep the whole system running smoothly and healthily. Every ecosystem has two main types of ingredients. The first kind is all the living or once living parts. Scientists call these biotic factors. Bio means life. Biotic factors include every plant, from the tallest redwood tree to the smallest patch of moss. They also include every animal, like a hungry wolf, a buzzing bee, or a quiet earthworm wiggling through the dirt. Even things we can't see, like bacteria and fungi, are very important biotic factors. They are all part of the living team in an ecosystem. On the other hand, we have the non-living parts of the ecosystem. These are called abiotic factors. A means not, so abiotic means not living. Abiotic factors are all the physical and chemical things that living organisms need or interact with. Think about the sunlight that warms the earth and gives plants energy. Think about the water in a river, the air we all breathe, and the temperature outside. Even the soil, the rocks, and the minerals are crucial abiotic factors that provide homes, nutrients, and stability for the whole system. Let's look at a coral reef as an example. The biotic factors are easy to spot. The colorful corals themselves, the fish swimming around, the sharks hunting, and the algae growing on the rocks. But these living things could not survive without the abiotic factors. The salty ocean water provides their home. The sunlight that shines down through the water gives the algae energy. The temperature of the water has to be just right for the coral to stay healthy. The rocks and sand on the ocean floor provide places for creatures to hide and anchor. You can see that biotic and abiotic factors are always interacting. A plant, which is biotic, needs sunlight, water, and soil, which are abiotic, to grow. A bear, which is biotic, might dig a den in the side of a hill, which is abiotic, to sleep through the winter. A fish, which is biotic, gets its oxygen from the water, which is abiotic. It swims in. One cannot exist without the other. This constant dance between the living and the non-living is what makes every ecosystem a dynamic and fascinating place to study and explore. It's a perfect partnership. All the energy in most ecosystems starts with one amazing source, the sun. Plants are very special because they can take the energy from sunlight and use it to make their own food. This process is called photosynthesis. Because they produce their own food, we call plants producers. They are the foundation of the food chain, turning sunlight into energy that other living things can eat. Grass, trees, flowers, and algae are all fantastic producers, creating the fuel that powers the entire ecosystem. They are the starting point for almost all life on Earth. Next up are the consumers. Consumers are organisms that cannot make their own food, so they have to eat other living things to get their energy. There are three main types of consumers. The first type is herbivores. These are the plant eaters. Think of a gentle deer munching on leaves, a rabbit nibbling on clover, or a colorful butterfly sipping nectar from a flower. An interesting fact, butterflies actually have taste sensors on their feet so they can taste a leaf just by standing on it. Herbivores get their energy directly from the producers. Then we have the carnivores, which are the meat eaters. Carnivores get their energy by eating other animals. A lion hunting a zebra, a snake swallowing a mouse, and an eagle catching a fish are all examples of carnivores in action. They are important for keeping the populations of other animals in balance. Did you know that some sharks, which are carnivores, can actually glow in the dark? This helps them attract prey in the deep, dark ocean. The third type of consumer is the omnivore. Omnivores are not picky. They eat both plants and animals. Bears are great examples. They eat berries and fish. Humans are omnivores too. Finally, when plants and animals die, their energy isn't wasted. That's where the decomposers come in. Decomposers are tiny organisms like bacteria and fungi. They are the cleanup crew of the ecosystem. They break down dead plants, dead animals, and waste products. This process recycles important nutrients, like nitrogen and carbon, and returns them to the soil. These nutrients then help new plants, the producers, grow. This means the decomposers complete the circle of life, making sure that valuable resources are used again and again. In an ecosystem, nothing lives in isolation. Every single part, from the biggest bear to the tiniest bacterium, depends on the others for survival. This is called interdependence. Let's imagine a simple forest ecosystem to see how this works. The sun, which is abiotic, shines down, giving energy to the oak trees, which are producers. The oak trees produce acorns. A squirrel, which is a herbivore consumer, comes along and eats the acorns to get its energy. The squirrel is happy and full, but it must also watch out for predators. Now, a hawk, which is a carnivore consumer, is circling overhead. It spots the squirrel and swoops down to catch it for its meal. The hawk gets its energy by eating the squirrel, which got its energy from the oak tree, which got its energy from the sun. You can see how the energy flows from one living thing to another. If all the oak trees suddenly disappeared, the squirrels would have no food. If the squirrels disappeared, the hawks might go hungry. Every link in this chain is very important for the entire system. This connection extends even further. What happens when the hawk eventually dies? Its body falls to the forest floor. This is where the decomposers, like mushrooms and bacteria, get to work. They break down the hawk's body, releasing all the nutrients back into the soil. These nutrients act like a fertilizer, helping new oak trees and other plants to grow strong and healthy. This beautiful cycle ensures that nothing is wasted and that life can continue. Did you know koalas, which are herbivores, can sleep up to 20 hours a day to save energy because their diet of eucalyptus leaves is so low in nutrients? Because everything is so deeply connected, even a small change can have big effects. If a disease were to wipe out the decomposers, dead things would pile up and the soil would lose its richness, making it hard for plants to grow. If pollution dirties the water, which is an abiotic factor, it could harm the fish, which are biotic factors, which in turn would affect the birds that eat them. This is why it is so important to protect our ecosystems. By keeping them healthy, we ensure that the wonderful complex web of life can continue to thrive for generations to come.